It's a delicious product. I would say Taiwanese oolong tea is probably some of the most sophisticated beverage in the world. Not only does it taste delicious, and Chinese people have known this for thousands of years, it transcends your mind, right? That is really like...
Tay Company's a little quaint tea shop in New York City's West Village. Its focus is on one product, Taiwanese oolong tea. This is the co-founder and owner, Elena Liao.
My name's Elena. I started the company maybe about, actually like 12 years ago. Much longer than the time that we've been open. Ultimately led to me leaving my job and opening the store. And I felt like that's really kind of when the Tay story start, is when we had a store and people were able to come here and kind of enjoy the product in a way that you couldn't do online. You want to smell it, you want to touch it and taste it, and that is really hard to translate on the internet. And so the store kind of became its own thing after we opened. Tay. Yeah. Not really.
The reasoning behind the name.
It was hard. A lot of people name their companies after their own names, right? Or like they're like a different thing.
Elena's tea.
Or something like that, like Elena, and that just like, that's not good. I also felt like it's not mine. I didn't make them. I didn't grow them. I'm just a merchant to maybe curate them, but I don't really. So saying Elena's tea would just be, that's like inappropriate. I felt like inappropriate. But we source from multiple farmers, so like how do we encapsulate this thing? And so there were a lot of Googling, there was a lot of searching, and the idea is to keep it to its original form. So in the sense that I want to keep the teas as they are. In that vein, you have to find a name that fits that kind of idea, and so you go with the name tea and how many variations are there on how do you pronounce it and how do you say it. Like people are like, oh, it must be from this, how do you say it? And I tell people like, whatever you want. Like honestly, what makes you happy? Like what makes you want to drink some tea? We'll name it that. Yeah. Let's call it that, yeah.
Let's call it the tea company.
That's fine, like the tea company in New York, like I'm happy to be the tea company, right? Like, by all means. One thing I didn't consider is that you can't trademark it.
That's true.
Which, yeah, it's a description of the product, so you can't. So that's the problem. That I learned yesterday, really, honestly. Bubble tea exists as a commoditized everyday. I mean, I've heard they're now $7 a pop, which I was like, well, really? And I think there's a product that's made for different occasions. I don't want to create a whole different idea about something that have existed in that form for thousands of years. That's how that product was made for, and that's how it should be served, in a pot, brewed loose, strained, and drank in little cups. Good products generally would have, it'll find its following. Yeah, I don't want to change it into something that my mom doesn't recognize, Like I don't want that.
I was like, what is this?
I'm calling it like, what are you doing? Right now, like the people who make these, produce these teas, grow their teas, they spend their lifetime, generations of people, and they go through multiple steps. I mean, I do tastings for people, for companies, and I show them, these are how these things are made. I show them the machines, how it's literally a handmade product, and they do that so then you can have a beautiful finish on your palate, and you can have this beautiful, amazing aroma that you couldn't get otherwise. That's worth preserving. I don't really care if they want stuff in it. When you come here, we don't have milk, we don't have sugar. If you absolutely must, I'll give you a little honey or a little agave. There's no lemon, nothing else. We serve them absolutely not. My husband does all the snacks for us, and he's like, well, you know, this boba thing is really a thing. And I'm like, I understand that it's a thing. We can absolutely make it and serve it, but it will be like on a bed of crushed ice. To me, we can serve it that way, but we're not putting any of that in any of this because it's a different product. These products this tea is not made to do that. So yeah, I don't think that we're gonna exotify it in any way outside of how we've had it always.